Hello everybody! So, from popular demand, today I'm going to be doing a Rocky Mountain Elk guide for Silver Ridge Peaks. This was highly requested. I did a poll recently on my channel and Rocky Mountain Elk won by I think 60%. So it's clear that a lot of you really want to see a Rocky Mountain Elk guide, so that's what I'm going to bring you today. Now first off, we got this little map that I've created that shows off a lot of the hot spots. Everything that's circled in red is a zone that you can actually find Rocky Mountain Elk at. Everything in yellow is zones that I'm not really 100% sure about, but they could potentially have them. So basically you're going to want to focus on the red circled ones, but it's always good to kind of check around other lakes too, because you never know when they could change some zones around. It's happened quite a bit in the past. They've done it many times. Also, this lake down here that I'm hovering my mouse over currently is one that is questionable. I'm not actually sure about this one. I've gone here a few times and never seen anything, but I've seen them bedding and eating near, so it's a very high possibility that there could be some here. I've just never seen them personally. But pretty much everything that you see in red, I've scoured the map for many hours the past couple days, making sure that I got as much as I possibly could for this guide, since it is such a highly requested one. I even went and put a star on every location that I feel is the best. So you got quite a few locations that have very large concentrations of Rocky Mountain Elk, as you guys can see on here. We have a total of, it looks like, 8 different locations that are starred, and all of those are fantastic spots to go. But when it comes to the most notable locations, I'd say this lake right here next to this lodge, this one is just phenomenal. It's one of the best lakes on the entire map when it comes to Rocky Mountain Elk, mule deer, black bear. It's just overall really good. Another super great lake to go to for Rocky Mountain Elk would be this one over here by this lodge. Now we'll go over some of these better locations in game, but I'm not going to show you guys every location in game because it would take me so long to show you guys everything. This is actually the first guide I think that I've done where I'm actually not going to be showing all the locations just because of the sheer number of them. But this lake right here is actually another really fantastic one that we're going to be checking out. And we're going to pretty much check out all of the ones that have the star on them, but all the other ones that are circled without a star you guys can check out on your own if you want to. They're all spots that you can find Rocky Mountain Elk at, but there's certain ones that are just better than others, and those are the ones that we're going to focus on today. So let's get straight into the actual location guide. Alright, so first up we have this lake up here, the top right one. This one right here is a pretty sweet lake. You can find the elk drinking along this shoreline and along this shoreline, which the first one that I showed off is right along here. Now the thing about this spot is if you're coming from the lodge over there, you're not really going to be able to see... Excuse me? Apparently I cannot do a guide without these mule deer interrupting, but you'll be finding the elk right around here over this little hill, so they can be kind of hard to approach from the lodge, which is over there. So I'd recommend setting up a tent like I did. It makes it a lot easier, and there's a good chance you won't end up spooking them if you do have a tent there. But anyway, the other location that you can find the elk is right over there. I've seen them right on that little bank quite a bit. They also feed and bed up further in this area sometimes, but right now we have mountain lions there, so not going to be seeing anything elk-wise. But those are the two locations that I've seen elk at this particular lake up here. So it is a decent lake, and I'm pretty sure they can be across also, but I just don't have a herd there personally. But next we're going to go to this lake right here at the top middle. This is also another very good one. I think it's actually a little better than the one that we just showed off. This is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And that's because you can get them right here on this close little bank, and there's usually a decent amount of them. You can also get them directly across over here, which on the map that would be right in this little area. And I've also seen them across over there. Not as often, but they have been there before. But the main two locations are going to be close and then right here. But one of the reasons why I like this one so much is because I've also seen them bedding and eating up in this area, over further this way, and right out in front of us actually. So there's quite a few locations that you can actually get them around this lake. It's overall just a great lake to go to. Both of these top lakes are pretty much good for every species that you could think of. They're one of a couple of the few lakes that have almost every single species. Obviously the bison and pronghorn aren't this far up north, but pretty much everything else can be found at these two lakes, so I highly recommend checking them out if you haven't. They're both fantastic. Alright, so next we're going to be going down to these lakes right here, these three in particular. They're all really, really good. I'm gonna go to the lodge because that's where a lot of you will probably be going to. You don't have to have a tent here. As I've said in one of my previous guides, I just like having it there because it makes it so it's easier to access the kills that I've got. But basically, you're gonna be finding them, well, right in front of us actually. But when they're drinking, you'll find them on this close bank. You'll find them on that little corner over there. You'll find them directly across over in that spot. And I've seen them right here also. So this is a fantastic lake. Most of the lakes that are along this road are extremely good. They're probably some of the most consistent. You'll get quite a few elk here very consistently. I have yet to get any diamonds or anything from these lakes, but they are very good when it comes to high amounts of elk, so very high chances of getting some good things out of this area. Next up, we're going to head down to the lake directly below it. This is another really, really good lake, similar to the one that we just checked out. This one doesn't have quite as many spots that you can get elk, but it still has a decent amount. You can have them on this close shore right there, next to that stand kind of. They'll be slightly left of it. You can also have them over in that far right corner. And then I've seen them directly across too. So another very good lake. Not as good as the last one, as I said, but definitely a pretty solid spot to go to if you want some Rocky Mountain elk. Very, very consistent, as is the last one. Now, there's not really too much else to show for this lake. Really just those three locations. That's about it. I haven't really noticed too many feeding or bedding zones around here. You do get some feeding zones kind of like up the hill, around that area. I don't remember the exact location, but if you go towards the lake and up the hill a bit, you will find some bedding zones and feeding zones, as is this location right here. It's also a pretty good spot for bedding and feeding zones for elk. A lot of times you'll find them very close to their drinking zones, which is really nice. Now for this next one, I would recommend setting a tent up right here. You don't have to, but when you run from this lodge, you can spook the herd that drinks on this side of the lake, so I would highly recommend putting up a tent next to this lake. Makes it so much easier to approach them without any issues. So basically for this lake, there's three different spots that I've found elk herds. This is one of my favorite lakes to go to though, because I have got a diamond here, and I've also had quite good luck on other species here too. So overall, it's just a pretty awesome place to go to. But the first location that you'll find the elk is on this left side of the lake in these reeds. They tend to kind of get inside of those reeds, which is unfortunate. It makes it a little bit hard to spot all of them. But I've seen them right here. I've also seen them right here. And I've seen them, well, actually right here and here. So I guess there's 4 locations actually. Once again, super amazing lake. And as you can see by that little turkey going away from us, we do have turkey here too. There's also mule deer, black bear. Just a fantastic lake in general, once again. Silver Ridge Peaks has quite a few lakes that are like this, so once this comes out on console, I feel like a lot of you will really have a blast with it. Alright, so next up we're gonna go to this lake right here. This one's directly next to a lodge, which makes it very easy to access. So I feel like this will be a favorite of a lot of people once this hits console. So with this particular lodge, I like to have a stand here, because if you get in the stand, you can look directly over here at one of the elk herds. They usually drink right inside of these reeds, and if you have a stand here, it makes it very easy to just shoot them from the lodge. You can also get them drinking like anywhere on this hill pretty much. Basically along this whole area I've seen them, which usually that just means they have one drink zone, but they kind of go to different portions around it based off of the time that you go there. Because as some of you may know, they don't always drink in the exact same spot. They'll drink in the same general area, but they could move 50, 100 meters from time to time. But then the other spots that you can find them here is directly across over there, and then I've also seen them right here before, so 4 locations for them at this lake, just like the last one. Next up we got this little location right here, which is a pretty sweet spot to go to just because of the visibility. I found a couple different elk herds here. And there's also a ton of bedding and feeding zones in the area. You can get them feeding and bedding pretty much all in this field. It's very, very nice because even if you're not coming here during drinking time, you can find a level 5 medium like this guy. Alright, well, I wasn't planning to take out a diamond, but I guess we're gonna take out a diamond elk. I should probably equip a little bit more reliable weapon than what I currently have on me, so let's go ahead and smoke it with the muzzleloader, I guess. That is absolutely awesome. I was just planning on running through this guide really quickly because I'm kind of crunched on time at the moment, but I guess we're going to be taking our time and getting it with the muzzleloader, so let's hope this goes smoothly. That is awesome. I am really happy that we came across this guy. I didn't really pay attention to what color he is, so we should probably go see what fur type it is. Okay, it looks common from here, so I think it is a common. I don't know if this guy's gonna make diamond though. I don't think it will. I think this is the troll one. Now that I look at that score estimate, this definitely seems like it's the troll one. If not, it's gonna be super, super close. I'm not actually sure if this guy's gonna make diamond, which is unfortunate, but that's still cool that we found a level 5. Okay, so based off my calculations, this thing's either gonna be right on diamond or 1 point short. That's gonna be interesting to see what it makes now. Very curious. I think we can take this from this distance. 150 seems perfect with the muzzleloader, so let's actually see if we can get it to go alert. That way it goes a little more broadside. There we go, it's alert now. Once it's away from them and goes broadside, we'll take the shot. We probably could take a quartering shot with the muzzleloader because it does have good pen, but I don't want to risk it. So we're just gonna wait for it to go broadside. And that should be a dead elk. Let's hope we get lucky with the RNG and this thing actually makes diamond. Because based off those scoring estimates, it's gonna be really close. It's gonna be really, really close. Okay, he died in a interesting spot. I'm kind of disappointed that he died like this. Which makes no sense because he didn't go out of render either. I think what happened was he probably ragdolled down the hill and ended up bugging out by flipping over into the ground. But let's go ahead and claim this guy since we can't really get a good picture. Oh, it was so close. Okay, so the diamond rating is 481. I knew it was around the 480 mark. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, but it's cool that we were able to get a level 5 while doing this little guide here. Still a monster of a Rocky Mountain Elk. We'll tax him just because he is super close and these guys look amazing in the lodge. But that's sad that it wasn't a diamond. Well, anyway, we should probably continue on with this guide or else this thing's gonna be like 20 minutes long. And I do want to try and make this not a super long guide. So let's head back to that tent and go over this location real quick. So basically, once you get to this lake, there's gonna be elk that'll be around these trees, and then I've also seen them closer to these trees, so there's a couple spots right there, and then you can't see it from where we are now, but they also drink clear over here where this Plains Bison drinking zone is. And I've seen them as far as down here, so once again, a very good lake, as is a lot of the lakes on this map. So next let's head to this lake right here, and I'll kind of quickly show you guys where I've found them drinking here. As you can see, we got an elk right there, and they actually drink relatively close to where that feeding zone is. I found them drinking right close to the lodge by this tree, which as you can see is super, super close to the lodge. They can be right there. They can be over at the end of the lake, which is right here. They can even be at this little puddle right here. So it's kind of hard to tell whether their drinking zone is actually at that little puddle or if it's at the tip of this lake. But yeah, they can be there. I've also seen them over here where these mule deer and pronghorn are. kind of on this little end. I've never seen any at this lake, but since they drink at this one right here, there's always a chance they could be at the one below it. So I would give this one a little bit of a look if you want to try and find some new locations. But this little lake that we're at now, which is right next to the starter lodge, this is where you guys will start out on Silver Ridge Peaks, and this spot is right up here. And I actually killed my first diamond Rocky Mountain Elk shortly downhill from here. It was actually right around here at this little feeding zone area. Got a beautiful Rocky Mountain Elk there. That was the first diamond one I had ever got. But basically at this lake they'll be over on this side, and I believe I've seen them on this side too. Not as often though. They're pretty much usually there. And, you know, there's always a chance that they can switch around. And like I've said in the past, everybody's map's a little bit different, so there might be some zones that you guys have that I've never had, because it is random at the end of the day. But this should give you guys a general idea of which lakes to go to, but the actual spots they can be drinking on those lakes could vary from map to map. But yeah, once again, great little lake right here. And I think there's only like maybe one more lake to cover when it comes to the best lakes. Actually, going over the map again, it looks like we already covered all of the best locations. So I hope this little guide helped you guys. Once again, I didn't show off every single location in the video, but the map should give you guys a good idea of where to go. But I mainly wanted to show off the best locations, since if I were to show every single one of them in game, it would have been such a long video that I feel like a lot of you probably wouldn't even watch through the whole thing, because nobody wants to sit 40 minutes just to watch a guide video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little shortened guide. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to head into the trophy lodge and take a quick look at that Rocky Mountain Elk that we just got. And I'm going to show you guys a couple trophies that I actually got recording a video earlier, but the sound was completely bugged in the video. Literally every game sound was about 3 seconds behind, so there's not really any way I can use that footage. I might just throw it in the future as like an opening clip so you guys can at least see how the kill went down. But yeah, unfortunately the footage was just not up to par with what I want to be putting out, so I will show you guys in the future the actual kills though. But so basically, one of the kills that we got was this little piebald mule deer right here. I was doing a mule deer video, and that was the one that got the bug sound, but we got this little guy. He's not a monster, but it's still a legacy rare, which is what we want to be getting right now. I want to try and get as many of these rare legacies as we can before the Truracs come out. But the other one that we got was this beautiful mountain lion here, a level 8 37.7 scoring mountain lion albino. This is one of the coolest things I've come across since we started this new Spring Creek Manor, and it's honestly perfect with this 180 blacktail. I think they're both absolutely beautiful together. With this being such a high scoring gold mountain lion and this being a pretty decent scoring diamond blacktail, I think this is an awesome mount, and it's probably one of my favorites that we have in the lodge currently. Obviously there's a few that are still going to be stuff that I always enjoy more, like the melanistic red deer with the diamond red deer, but that one that we just added is very, very close to being one of my favorites in the lodge. So definitely awesome that we got that. Like I was saying, I'll put that footage out at some point once I find a place that I can actually fit it in. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little guide video. I hope it helped some of you out. If you did enjoy the guide video, be sure to hit the like button. It helps the channel out a ton. As some of you may know, whenever you like a video, it pushes the video out to more potential viewers and recommends it more often. So it really does help the channel out a ton whenever you guys like the video. And I really can't thank you enough for the amount of recent support we've had. It's been pretty crazy. Had ton of good feedback on the recent videos, so I hope to keep improving and just push out lots of good content for you guys to enjoy. So let me know what you guys would like to see next as our next little guide here on Silver Ridge Peaks, and that's going to be it for me. Okay guys, so I actually accidentally ended that video before showing off the Rocky Mountain Elk, so I think we're going to go do that now. I didn't realize it until like 10 minutes after I had ended it, but let's go ahead and put it up real quick just so you guys can at least see it. So there's that Rocky Mountain Elk. It does look pretty sweet even though it is a troll. These guys honestly just look so good regardless if they make diamond or not, that I really do like just having them in the lodge as placeholders until we get actual diamonds, because they look so nice. I mean, just look at how beautiful that thing looks. Even just as a high gold, it's still an absolute monster and just looks beautiful. So there's that guy, and yeah, now we'll end the video. If you are new here and you are liking what you see, consider subscribing to the channel and turning notifications on. Also, if you want to help the channel grow, be sure to like the video, because this alone can help the video and my channel do better. But that's going to be it for me. Peace, my dudes. I hope you all have a fantastic day.